Welcome, everyone, to Fresh Lava Productions. I am your devilishly handsome and talented host, Brian Shanks. It is so good to have you back here, returning subscribers. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for paying me attention, because it's pretty much my most favorite thing in the whole world. Now, returning subscribers, I apologize. I have denied you the gift of me for quite some time now. I guess those are going to be the early birds. I took a couple months off. The end of January, we went to lay my father's ashes to rest, and it's been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least, throughout the course of my life over these past 2 years, and just a little bit more than that. However, seeing as how I am the best tarot reader in the history of tarot, I decided, after a little bit of inebriation, to come and do a reading tonight and try to get things back on track. And who better to start with? My lovely lion pride. Special shout out to all the Leos that I can remember at this moment. Sherry, her daughter Natalie, I love you, Nala. My buddy Elliot, myself, of course. My great and worthy opponent, Derek T. Jones L. Has there ever been a finer spiritual teacher in the history of spirituality? And the answer, of course, is yes and no, because obviously I'm much better, but I haven't developed to the point to where I'm qualified to do such things. So, with that, we'll get on to your reading, Leo. I'm trying not to have this too drawn out because, as you know, if you've tuned into my previous videos, I am a Leo Virgo cusp, the cusp of exposure, baby. Believe that. My Mercury's in Virgo, my Moon is in Gemini, and I have 6 Libras in my chart, which basically means that I could talk your ears off all day long, every day, probably until the end of time. Special side note, I don't like these type of Facebook posts, and I think you know the ones that I'm talking about, the ones that say, if you don't do this, then you have no heart. If you don't like, share, and subscribe, then you don't love anything or anybody, and your heart is stone. I hate those because it's baiting. I mean, baiting is not a big thing for me. Lions are hunters that hunt, and they don't need bait. They just hunt. That's how we roll. Anyway. But I will have to say, if I was going to do one of those particular Facebook posts, I would do it like this. If you have ever lost anybody in your life, whether that be to death, to separation, whatever the case, and you can think about that person and listen to Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You Without Shedding a Tear, you may have no heart. That's as close to one of those bullshit ass Facebook posts as I'm ever going to get. Because, man, Whitney will put it on you. If you've ever experienced emotional loss or suffering, or your heart chakra has ever been fractured in any way, I love you, Walter. Oh, look at my good kitty. And you can listen to Whitney Houston sing I Will Always Love You and not cry. Man, I thought I had a long way to go, but you may just have a little bit longer. Listen to me going on about myself, and I could do that all day long, every day, forever. Because I love me some me, baby. NFL fans, obviously that was a reference to Terrell Owens. But apropos, we're going to get on with your reading. My beautiful Leones. It's one of these astrological guys on YouTube. Always, every other sentence he says, he stops and goes, "My gorgeous Leones." It's like, this guy's got it figured out. the way to a Leo's heart is to constantly heap praise upon them. It's it's tough to resist for the unpolished lion. That I can tell you. Alright, if you're new to the channel, this is a tarot layout of my own devising. It's called the Pyramid, and you love it. The bottom 4 cards, the bottom layer, if you will, because this happens in layers, is called the foundation or your foundation stones. The next layer up are your heart stones. The next layer up are your mind stones for all your MCU fans out there. All of you MCU fans out there. I need to start taking it easy on myself for misspeaks because we don't want to be grammar Nazis. I mean, some of us don't have a choice, and we're going to be anyway. Alright, Leos, here we go. Queen of Water, Ace of Earth, 7 of Water, Ace of Fire. Now, your foundation stones are made up of the Angel Tarot. It is basically an oracle deck, but it's a tarot deck. It's a tarot deck that is designed like an oracle deck. The cards are oversized. They all have a message at the bottom. And in my readings, typically the foundation stones are going to be the foundation upon which you are standing. Pretty much everything that's happened in your life up until this point usually will show up in some form or fashion in your foundation. Your heart stones, which is the next layer that I'm revealing now, those are things that are on your heart. Not necessarily things that are hurting your heart, not necessarily things that are making your heart sing, but things that are on your heart. Mind stones, pretty much the same deal, things that are on your mind. More often than not, hey, look at that, the Sun card right in the middle of your mind, Leos. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Mind stones, typically because people are flawed and they worry a lot. And so my mind stones typically point out things that people are worried about. And that's how my readings generally go. Yes, I am having a little bit to drink. But you know what? I'm 38 and that's well above the legal limit. And with all the depression I've been experiencing lately, a little bit of liquid courage is what got me to do this reading and upload the first one that I've done for some months now. And again, I'm sorry for denying you all the gift that is me. So, I always save your capstone for last. That is a Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle card. I put that there and I designed this layout so that no matter how crappy the reading might be, we always end things on a positive note here at Fresh Lava Productions. So let's get started. Queen of Water in traditional tarot, of course, is the Queen of Cups. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Ace of Earth, or also the Ace of Pentacles. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. 7 of Water, or 7 of Cups as you might know it. A complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Always good advice for a Leo. That I can tell you. And the Ace of Fire, or Ace of Wands, or Ace of Rods. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. I can tell you from experience, being half Leo myself, procrastination is a problem that we intrinsically possess. It's not something, most of us come into this incarnation equipped with the tools to dispose of efficiently. It's something that we have to work on, and that's, I'm guessing, part of the reason we were born under the sign of Leo. Here are some lessons that you have to learn. So now you're going to be a lion. You'll be creative. You'll be intelligent. You'll be the most loving sign that there is. But you'll also be an asshole from time to time. Especially when you're teaching someone along their path. You might be a big time asshole instead of being kind to them, Derek. Excuse me. Anyway, we'll get on to your heartstones and then we'll tie it all together at the end. Your heartstones, we have the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, wouldn't you know it, and the Nine of Swords. Now, that says to me right away, Leos, the Magician, a lot of you in your heart, you know that you create your own reality. You know you can do anything you want to do in this life. And this applies to me, and I'm feeling like a bunch of other lions as well. The Queen of Pentacles is the center of your heart. Now, a lot of you, that's going to talk about an earth sign. You got your Virgo, you got your Taurus, you got your Capricorn. Slow moving and stubborn as hell. But a lot of you Leos out there, the Queen of Pentacles is, court cards typically represent a person in your life. The Queen of Pentacles is front and center on a lot of your hearts, whether that's for good or for bad. Now, being that it's on one side, it's the Magician, which means that you do have the power to create the perfect romantic relationship for some of you or fix a relationship for some of you. But the Nine of Swords on the other side, I mean, look at the Nine of Swords. Look at this guy. He's having a rough go of it. Okay, he's got weapons flying at him from every possible angle. Swords typically represent air energy, which typically represents intellect, things related to the mind. The Nine of Swords is somebody that just feels like they're beat up. Okay, they're tired of the race. They're tired of getting abused, not only by people's actions, but also by people's words and their thoughts. More often than not, a Leo is going to be an empath because of how much we feel. So even if you're not mentally exactly aware of things that are being said about you, we always feel things that are thought about us. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Now, in your Mind Stones, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. You have the Two of Wands, which, you know, I'm an intuitive reader. I don't strictly stick by the textbook definitions. We'll get back to Two of Wands in just a second. On the other side, we have the Six of Wands, which is victory, creative victory. It's a knight riding a horse with a wreath. He's won the battle. He's got all of his magical tools, you know, in his bag back there. This guy, I won't say he has it all figured out, but he does have all of the tools that he needs to accomplish what he wishes to accomplish. And he's already won a victory, even though he's not looking back at the battlefield, which is making me feel like he doesn't necessarily think that his victory is as much of a victory as an objective person would. Center Mind Stone, the Vision Stone, the Sun card. Leo energy 100%. You can't make this stuff up. I always make sure you can see my hands shuffling the cards, and you can see them as they come out. This is just how this goes. There is, aside from the Strength card, I don't know that I'd say there's a better card in the deck for a Leo than the Sun card, and that's center of your mind. What you know beyond knowing is that, number one, the sun is the source of all important energy. It makes everything grow. Number two, this is the advice that I give as often as I can. It's a child riding a white horse, which is just missing the horn to be a unicorn, with the sun shining and blaring, very few clouds in the sky. This is tantamount to the advice that I give to my students and my followers. Look at the world every day in your mind, in your mind's eye, with a childlike sense of wonderment. Let all the fear go, let all the doubt go, and just keep riding. Everything's going to be fine. There's even sunflowers down here. I mean, come on. Now, the Two of Wands, I'm not going to read from the book, but I'm going to look at the picture and tell you this is a creative person. There's a cat in the picture. This guy loves animals. The flowers are blooming at the end of his staffs. So it's not just a weapon, but it's also a thing of beauty. In addition to that, he's holding a globe, which is the entire world, in one hand. Now, it's shrunken down to be able to fit in his hand. And some people might look at it like he's got the whole world in his hands. And that's one way to look at it. He is carrying the weight of the world, but it's a perceived world. This guy is holding the globe as if he's got it all figured out. And these are the Mind Stones, I would remind you. I would remind you. But this guy has figured out how to live his life in such a way with the power of the sun and the power of victory and faith that nothing this world can do to you is something that you are not capable of handling. And this also reminds me a lot of Stoicism. If you've ever researched Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, try to look at everything as if you're watching a movie, as if you are an emotionally detached viewer, and just see what happens. You know that no matter what happens, you can handle it. And I'm speaking to every Leo out there. Strength is another one of our cards. We get 2 major arcana for a reason, Leos. Strength is something to be envied by other people, although unless you're an asshole, Leo, you don't really care that other people envy it. Now, that being said, let's tie these all together and bring a close to this video and reveal your capstone. So, what I see here, your foundation, Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, and Ace of Wands. What I see here is a little bit different than what I normally see. That's a lot of court cards and one peculiar card. The 7 of Cups, by the textbook definition, for a lot of readers, is not necessarily a positive thing. It is confusion, but what I've always seen out of it is the 7 of Cups, cups referring to water, water referring to emotions. You have so many things that you're emotional about right now. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm getting from my people. It says a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. And that's cool, and that might apply to some of you Leos out there. But what I'm getting, what I always typically get from the 7 of Cups is you have your emotions divided into too many places. The key here is balance. You want to stay right in the center and not let any positive or negative emotion affect you so much that it starts tilting your axis. That's what I'm seeing. Ace of Earth, which is Ace of Pentacles. A lot of you, while this would normally denote an abundance of wealth, what I'm feeling like is for the majority of you that are tuning into this video, there is an abundance of wealth at your foundation. You have yet to access it, and we're going to tie that all in together. The Queen of Water or the Queen of Cups, relationships, develop to a new level, trust your intuition. Trusting your intuition is one of the most important things that you can do. Don't get into a program of believing things and not understanding why you believe in them. Don't walk into an organized religious service and base your beliefs off of what the man at the podium has to say. Jesus was a rebel. Jesus was a magician. Jesus was a mystic. And the only time he ever went into an organized religious service was literally to disrupt it. Think about that. I'm not asking you to believe what I believe, and I really don't care. I believe the things that I believe because of research that I've done, experiences that I've had, And the most important thing about my beliefs is I know why I have them. The Ace of Fire on the other side, man, that's Queen, Ace, 7, Ace. If you're playing Texas Hold'em, you'd be in pretty good shape right now. Pocket aces, baby. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. That also, I think, is corresponding to the Ace of Earth, which is you have all of the abundance of creativity that you need to forge your path ahead for the next chapter of your life, Leos. Have you discovered it yet? Do you know what it is? Are you listening to your intuition? Is there someone in your life that's asking you, what do you want? Not what does the world want, what is expected of you, but do you have a Queen of Cups in your life somewhere that is saying to you, what is it that you are most gifted with? Excuse me. What is it with which you are most gifted? That's what I meant to say. Now, okay. 7 of Cups over here and the Ace of Fire. You have anything and everything that you need at your disposal to forge your path. On your heart is the 9 of Swords, and you're feeling too beat up to make a clear decision about how you want to proceed. That's all right. It's okay, because go one up from that, and the genius of my layout, if I do say so myself, is that it forms miniature pyramids also. Now, you can trace the 7 of Cups and the Ace of Wands up to the 9 of Swords, which seems discouraging because your heart feels like it's been mashed. And for a lot of you, and myself included, it has. That's all right. In your mind already knows. Now, your mind is the most powerful creative force on this realm. If you haven't read a book called Creative Mind for Success by Ernest Shurtleff Holmes, I would highly recommend that you read that book. The audiobook is on YouTube. And what this is telling me is that you have everything that you need. Your heart is messed up because of what you've been through, probably due to a woman for all you guys, and probably due to a man for all you girls. Somebody has crushed your heart. But you know what? It's okay. The sun is still shining, and tomorrow, Tom Hanks said in Castaway, tomorrow the sun will rise. And trace the 7 of Cups, Ace of Wands, up to 9 of Swords where your heart is hurting, and realize that your mind knows that with the 6 of Wands, the victory is already yours. You're not paying attention to it. You're this guy over here holding the globe in his hand, holding his wands, waiting for his ships to come in, although I think that relates more to the 3 of Wands. But I'm going to go ahead and use it this way because it's my reading. Leos, Queen of Water, there's somebody in your life, man or woman, that is emotionally attached to you and has great emotional influence over you. You have unlimited wealth. You will access it because you are the magician. This infinity symbol up here on the third eye spot on this pharaoh looking thing is illuminating everything. Meditate, do breathing exercises. I would recommend Wim Hof, Wimhoff. I think I'm spelling that correctly. And meditate, shrink the world down to where you can hold it in your palm and not make it feel like and look like everything is so heavy. You're trying to get light, but you need to get light. You have too much weight, and the more you have that weight, you will continue to weight. Now, before anybody accuses me of plagiarism, I modified that quote from one of my favorite spiritual teachers of all time. His name is Sevan Bomar, Sevanbomar. I would encourage you to go and check out his podcast. And with that, Leos, I think that was a fantastic reading. I'm going to reveal your capstone. A good night's sleep. God Almighty, isn't that good advice for everybody? Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me relax and sleep deeply, for I know that you are guiding, healing, and protecting me while I rest. And like we always do here at Fresh Light Productions, we're going to read from the book to expound upon the Good Night Sleep card. By the way, while I'm flipping to the page, I hope you have all enjoyed this broadcast. I've been away for too long. If you haven't already, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Anything and everything that you can do to support my channel is greatly appreciated. Do not forget, I do free personal readings. I accept donations, but I do not charge for my services at all. And also important to keep in mind is I'm pretty much the best thing that's ever happened to tarot card reading. I almost made it through that without laughing, but I didn't. Good night sleep. This card indicates that the quality of your sleep is connected to a health concern. Perhaps your mind is busy with worry or your body feels tense due to an excess of stress with caffeine. Regardless of the cause, Archangel Raphael wants you to enjoy a good night's sleep. And I would remind you all, you don't have to be a Leo to ask for Michael's help. You don't have to be a Virgo to ask for Raphael's help. I'm a Leo Virgo cusp. I am the Leo Virgo cusp, so clearly they love me more than they do you. But you don't have to be you don't have to be a Leo or a Virgo to ask for their help. The fact is, all of the archangels are on the ready, standing by, waiting for you to ask for their help. But they're not so much into affecting free will, so you do have to ask for their help. If you need healing, ask Raphael. If you need strength, ask Michael. I will permit them to come. I'm kidding you guys. I love this so much. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. I really should be more giving of me. When you wish to fall asleep, think about Raphael and imagine talking to him about your concerns. Tell him all of your thoughts, fears, or wishes. When you feel complete, ask the Archangel to allow your mind and body to rest peacefully. Raphael will then cover you with his emerald green energy blanket, best color ever, next to blue, which will nourish you as you sleep. He'll watch over you, making sure that you're safe and protected. Possible specific meanings: go on a retreat to revive your body and spirit. Go camping, great idea. Let go of control issues and go with the flow to release tension. Leos, if there was ever better advice given to lions specifically, I don't know what it is. Know that you are safe. Please believe. Remember that Jesus said, as you believe, it is done unto you. Know that you are safe. Don't just believe it, know it. And you will be. Always. Invest in a comfortable bed and allergen-free bedding so that you can sleep better. I've been through a series of unfortunate events like Lemony Snicket in the past couple of years, but one of the few things that I have going for me besides my fabulous dog Hermione and my cats Buddy, as you can see here, and Walter, I do have a most comfortable mattress. And I can tell you, even though I don't sleep for more than 2.5 to 3 hours at a time, it's comfortable sleeping. And it does wonders. I could not imagine if I was sleeping on some cot back in the Army like I used to be, because that was awful. Adjust your schedule in order to have at least 8 hours of sleep each night. That's a good one, Raphael. Quite the jokester, that guy. If you are so fortunate as to be able to get 8 hours of sleep, I salute you, Lions. I'm jealous of you. But I want you to remember, I love you all very much. I do this because I care about you, and I do free readings because I want to help as many people as I can. And I do not believe this is a service that you should charge anyone for. not throwing out any of the readers out there, although there are plenty of fakes, frauds, charlatans, and dare I say, whores on YouTube. And they are all over the place. Be selective. My lion pride as to who you pay attention to. Examine their motives and listen to what your intuition is telling you about them. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you. Did I say already? If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow. I've grown a lot, and to everybody that is a returning subscriber, I cannot thank you enough. I believe I'm up to 265 subscribers at this point. And clearly there are millions more people that want to pay attention to me because, listen to me. I mean, come on. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Deuces.